Let me tell you about my guest and how I feel about her, okay? I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. And Ruth, are you getting sick of being introduced with that same song all the time?
Heck no! Are you kidding me?
That was such a huge thing.
That's why we wrote that song.
As have been so many.
Yes.
I mean, for crying out loud. Wait just a second. I've got the notes here. Wait just a moment. I've got the numbers here. 15 top 40 singles, 20 albums, biggest thrill in show business of all of those years. Go back to the first thing you think of when I say the biggest thrill.
Biggest thrill, probably meeting Muhammad Ali.
And he's one of our homeboys.
Oh, okay.
He lives right here.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, what a terrific guy.
Yeah. That was a thrill, meeting him, getting to know him, hanging out with him.
Hanging out in Zaire.
In Chicago, yeah.
You know, there's so much geography in this book, and there's so many stories in this book. And I'm telling you right now, Ruth Pointer has a lot of reasons to be excited, but also a lot of reasons to look back and say, why did I do all that stuff?
Yeah, I do. I did some crazy things, you know.
Well, you really are open, though, in this book about the downside of your life.
Yeah.
Do you regret that kind of honesty?
No, I don't regret that kind of honesty. I'm grateful that I survived. And so
came close to not surviving.
Came close a couple of times to not surviving. And, I've had people in my life that have not made it. And I'm so grateful that I did survive it, that I wanted to share it, because I'm sure there are people out there even today that are still going through their challenges and feeling not hopeful. I want them to have hope.
There's people out there right now who are also shouting, McMahon, why do you get a chance to meet all these exciting people and we don't? But they can.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night at 6.
That's right, tomorrow night at 6.
Talk about that.
Well, I'm going to speak a little bit about my book and answer some questions, and we're just going to have a really good time. I'm so happy to be here.
At the Arizona Project, ASU
Project
Humanities. Have they told you what that is about?
Somewhat. I know yesterday I spent some time with Neil Lester, and they're doing some wonderful things in the community that I wasn't aware of,
Well, and they continue to, also including the fact that your appearance tomorrow night is at the First United Methodist Church, right?
Right.
And when you're talking about the things that we were just talking about, this is a book filled with thrills, excitement, and some real problems.
Yeah.
Starting with what?
Starting with just being rebellious because we were raised so religious. I grew up in a home with mother and father, both ministers, and it was just don't do this, don't do that.
They were pretty demanding, weren't they?
Oh, yeah. And of course, as a kid, I didn't understand that. I wanted to do everything, just wanted to be like my friends, didn't want to be different, Took me a long time to realize that different was really where it's at.
Yeah, and so you went along with the party crowd.
Yeah.
Got involved with a whole bunch of substances.
Yes.
And if you're talking right now, as I know you are, to some young aspiring performer who's maybe between high school and college age, and that young woman says, but I want to be a star. What does it take to be a star? What does it take, though, to turn your back on the people who are tempting you to do things that are not good for you?
I think it takes a commitment to being yourself and holding on to something that you really believe in, because you can get swayed so easily wanting to be a part of the party. And you can be a part of the party to a certain extent, but you really need a commitment to something to hold on to.
When did you get sober for real?
For real? 1984.
That was a long time, wasn't it?
That was a long time ago.
And a long time of having those people around you who would provide whatever it is that you wanted. But you kicked it how?
Through several programs. Narconon was the first one. And that cost me quite a bit of money. And I was bringing my children into it. I have 2 older children that I was bringing into it as well that had gotten involved. And the clearer my head got from the substances, the more I started looking at my bank account and thinking, I think there might be a better way to do this. And a 12-step program, was looking really good to me because it was free. And I started going to 12-step meetings in Los Angeles and found a home there.
And here you are looking at a guy who's not doing any chemicals, and I still did something, it's unforgivable, and that is I turned Baptists into Methodists a couple of minutes ago. No, I said you're going to be at the Methodist church, and all the Methodists are saying, oh, terrific. I didn't know the reporter was coming in.
And I didn't even notice that's not what you said.
No, First Institutional Baptist Church, one of the great religious organizations here in the Valley. It's tomorrow, 1141 East Jefferson. Would you please repeat after me at home, 1141 East Jefferson.
6 o'clock
And I'm glad you didn't notice it, because the Methodists are invited too, aren't they?
Absolutely, everyone is.
Who helped you the most outside of an organization? Who helped you stay sober?
Higher power, I regained my faith and started reading the Word a lot every morning, started praying a lot, and just kind of remembered some of the things that I was so rebellious about when I was growing up with my parents. All of a sudden, those things started coming back to me, and I'm going, ooh, I'm so sorry, Mom. I understand
Did
now.
Mom ever say, I'm sorry I was so tough on you?
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
Well, I'll tell you, there are some moments in here where you get kind of weepy reading this, because there's some deeply sensitive moments. Yeah. And boy, there's some excitement going on. And by the way, I was talking to my co-host, Danielle, about the halftime show, Bruno Mars and Beyonce. And so, who do you like now among young contemporary performers?
Oh, I love Bruno Mars. I love Beyonce. I thought she rocked it that day. I like Coldplay. I've bought their music before.
Yeah.
I love Kanye West. I love Drake. I love Rihanna.
You love life, don't you?
I love life, yes. It's different, but, it's entertaining.
We just met, but I get a chance to say I love you too, Ruth.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
1141 East Jefferson, First Institutional Baptist Church, 6 o'clock. And by the way, you can contact those people to find out about a little VIP advance meeting with Ruth Pointer, one of the Pointer sisters, and pretty special on her own. I'm Pat, back in a moment.